Hey everybody, Tim here for today's review of Doctor Who story number 282, Rosa. So obviously you can tell by the title, or maybe you can't, I don't know. It is about Rosa Parks. So as an American watching this series, I'm actually really kind of surprised that they took on such a big issue. And like, Rosa Parks is someone that I literally grew up hearing about and knowing about and seeing on TV and stuff like that. So I'm really kind of surprised that Doctor Who, a British show, actually kind of had like an American plot. Like, I know there's been episodes where they've gone to America or had Americans in it and stuff like that. And there's even been like American, well, both actual American and fake American like companions and stuff. So I think it's really interesting. Now, for me, like, I don't know how many people in other countries, like in Europe and stuff, even know. Like, I'm sure like they know like Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks and stuff like that. But like, how much do they know? Like, is that something that they are taught early in school, or that they are like fluent in, stuff like that? So for me, this was really interesting. Like, most of it, like you kind of already know about, but like the other part of this, the sci-fi part of this, where it's the prisoner who is trying to change history, like those are the more interesting parts for me of this episode, because those are the things that like I don't know about, and that's the fiction part of the series. And so it's kind of more fun to see like all of the lengths he goes to, like faking the bus was canceled and having Ryan and Graham like pull the signs off. They're like, no, the bus is going. And so they've brought up race and stuff like that before in Doctor Who, especially with New Who. Like, I don't think they ever talked about anything in the classic Doctor Who series. But like, I mean, it goes all the way back to, what was it, the Martha and Shakespeare episode. And she's like, am I like safe to be around right now? And so like, yes, one of the things that stands out to me in this episode is it's actually very tame. Like, there's not a lot of swearing, there's not a lot of like language. Whereas, you know, like in real life, like there was way more violence and there was a lot more words thrown out that obviously they can't say and they can't put in a single episode of Doctor Who. It's not possible. But like, things like that are what kind of stood out to me. Like, oh, like he's just telling her to get off. He's not saying anything else that you know he was actually doing. So stuff like that. It is kind of fun to see the vortex manipulator, the cheap and nasty time travel, which I think is what Captain Jack used. So stuff like that. Some little shout out stuff like the Steve Jobs. I was like, is that necessary? But whatever. Obviously, probably my favorite part that I really did like it really kind of got to me emotionally, was the end scene where enough people didn't get on the bus, and then the Doctor realizes that her and Graham and Yaz like are taking up those seats, and that if they do get off and they do get out of the situation, then Rosa Parks isn't going to get asked to move or told to move. And so they are now part of this situation. And Graham is what really broke me, where he's just like, okay, let's get out of here. And the Doctor's just like, we can't. Like, we have to stay here and not intervene. So when Blake, I can't remember the bus driver's name right now, tells her to leave, like, they need to be there for those seats. And that's the moment where I'm like, oh my God, like, how hard would that be? Which, I mean, that's something for the Doctor. Like, the Doctor could have stopped a lot of things, like JFK and all sorts of things. But, like, how difficult is it to be, like, just have to stand there and be like, I know it's about to happen, but I cannot change this. So, overall, I loved this episode. I thought it was really, really well done. I thought it was really interesting. Like I said, as an American watching a British show, I was like, this is actually kind of fun. Like, it's really interesting to see kind of their perspective. So I'm kind of curious what other people thought about this. And especially for people who aren't Americans, like, how much American history are you taught? Because, like I've said, there's been episodes of Doctor Who where they're like, this person's here. And I'm like, I don't know who the fuck that is. So this is kind of the flip side of that coin. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing. And I'll see you guys next time for Arachnids in the UK.